to go. The MCI Center, Bill McCreary, the referee for tonight's game. Capitals must win this game to keep their season alive. Chris Draper will be out there against Hunter to take the face-off. Drop of the puck, and we are underway. One back by the Caps. Gonchar leaves it to Ricky. Ricky up the near side. No changes in the lineups for tonight's game. Phil Housley, who had an ear infection and missed practice yesterday, is dressed and will play here tonight. Darren McCarty moving with Draper. McCarty broke his stick. Good save made by Kolzig on the blade. Puck went behind the net, however. Up the near side, Berube will clear it out. Both teams making their first line changes here. And there's the shot in from center on Osgood. They did not shoot a shot on Osgood from center in game number 3. They get one here in game 4. Hunter in with Simon. Hunter shot behind the net. He wanted to get to Simon on the far side. Simon had already gone by the play.
But he passed up another shot. The Capitals have told themselves repeatedly, we've got to fire when we've got the chance. That was a chance.
Didn't do it. Cleared back up by Joey Junot. Brian Bellows. Osgood a save. Not a pretty one. Came off the blocker that time. And you see the Caps coming out here with the guns a-blazing. Cleared up through center. Gonchar will come back to get it. Gonchar in his own end. Joey Junot leads this team with 16 points in the playoffs. He has 7 goals. Peter Bonder's picked up 7. Gonchar, Zednik also with 7. But for Zednik and Gonchar, it has been a long, dry spell as far as goals are concerned. Larionov got it back into the middle. Shanahan could not control. Big forechecking job done by the Caps and their house behind them here at the MCI Center. Russ clears that one out. If you can survive the first 10 minutes of this kind of an onslaught, things will settle down. Detroit knows that.
And that's what their coaching staff has been telling their players. First 10 minutes, stay completely focused on what your job is and block everything else out.
Kelly Johansson will give chase. Full house on hand here in Washington. And as was mentioned, a lot of Detroit fans here as well. On the far side, Zednik brought it into the zone, wiped out by Darren McCarty. Came back, Adam Oates centered for Zednik, tipped away by McCarty to Fedorov. Sergei Fedorov leading all playoff goal scorers with 10. Took a big hit from Flea on the far side, but he's right back out on the ice. Near side it came to Zednik again. Caps want to change it up. Dumped in wide, Bondra giving chase. He got cut off. Tomas Holmstrom picks up the puck. McCarty up the near side looking wide. McCarty again on the forecheck, had the pass block. Loose in the middle, Tomas Holmstrom. Holmstrom trying to turn forehand, can't. Got cut off by Housley. Tried to go back to the blue line, deflected. Draper holds it in. Holmstrom coming back to help him off to Draper. Draper, though, had gone in behind the net. Played back up and the blue line. Good play by Draper again. Draper held it behind the net. Housley back, tried to kick it out in front, lost control of Koser. Centering pass, Draper coming back to Koser. Put back in behind the net. Banged up in the air, still loose back there, and Draper goes point wide. Anders Eriksson shot. That deflected into the corner. Players lost sight of the puck there momentarily. Chased down near side and brought back out of the zone. Nicolaitan brought it out. They'll send and change. Fatisson. He took the hit, cleared it around near side. Out of the zone. Detroit just dumps it out, forcing Washington to go back to get it. Gonchar will touch on the ice.
Well, the one thing the Capitals wanted to do, they have done early, and that is show the Detroit Red Wings that the pulse may be faint, but the body's still warm. These guys aren't dead. How do you send that message? Just like Ken Klee did on Tomas Holmstrom. Whack him, baby, and whack him hard, often, and early.
Scotty Bowman, so many numbers to get to regarding Scotty tonight as far as wins in the finals are concerned. A chance to tie for second, a chance for his 8th Stanley Cup ring to tie his hero, Coach Toe Blake. We'll keep those in mind tonight. The Washington Capitals hope none of that will come to fruition this evening. Brought back up by Joey Koser. Koser moving into the middle. Koser the shot, just tipped wide. Draper. Draper had gotten low down in front. Draper gets the puck back. Maltby out there on the line with him. Joey Koser, Maltby, and Draper. This big banging line of the Red Wings that's done great work offensively. Backhand Kolzig. Joey Koser again, once, twice. Draper looking for the loose puck. Maltby got it to the corner. Shot blocked there again. Behind the net, Koser held off by Ricky. Washington close to a penalty here if they don't get that puck moved. They need to clear the zone. Nicolaitan came away with it. Turned into the middle of Housley. Housley got it up, not out. Larry Murphy stepped up. Murphy in. Murphy looking shot, and he hit it high. They have been deflected off the defenseman's stick. Maltby back for Draper. Maltby got tied up. What a great job by that Detroit line. Detroit getting a line change to get the puck back. The Caps are caught in a huge, long shift.
A tough shift for Phil Housley. If he gets into the other end, his offense is going to be good against Detroit's grind line. Deep in his zone, he's at a disadvantage against bigger, stronger bangers like Maltby and like Kosar and the quickness of a guy like Chris Draper.
This is the puck control game we have talked about so often that in the first 3 games has been dominated by Detroit.
Boy, what great cycling down low. Maltby even banged in at one point to Joe Kosar, and they still kept it going. A backhand shot from in front. Olaf Kolzig made 2 great saves with the pad. Straight on, Olaf Kolzig has been just about unbeatable. Then Phil Housley decided he was going to start the rush, but that's why you never turn your back on the play. Larry Murphy glanced around and saw that it was a slow pass. He stepped back in and cut it and tried to go high to the glove side on the short side. Short side is where Olaf Kolzig has been beat in this series.
Fedorov, who's won 50% of the draws in the first 3, wins that one against Esa Tikkanen. Got it back behind the net, looking to center, did, out in front, shot, Kozlov blocked by the D. Ken Klee got down, Kozlov taken down by Klee out of the play on the near side. Again, Detroit controlling the puck in their offensive zone. This is their game, and forcing Washington to dump. Even though the first 3 games of this final series have been decided by 1 goal, you go back and look at puck possession and lead time, it's been Detroit. Down the middle, swept away almost on the break-in, Kelly Miller. Played back in behind the net. You see the shots even here. That's a win for Washington. Shot wide of the net by Krieger. Osgood diving, and a penalty coming up. It'll be on Detroit. There's the whistle. So the first power play of this game will go to the Washington Capitals. The game is scoreless. First period. The power play.
It was Tikkanen that made it happen. Watch Tikkanen's legs. Instead of trying to get away from the stick, he pulled his legs together to actually trip on it, and boy, did it look real at real speed.
2 minutes for interference.
He knew the veteran got him. 7-17, the interference call. Esa Tikkanen helping to create the opportunity. You see the power play, 2 for 9 in the last 2 games. Washington is 2 for 13 in this series against Detroit. The Detroit penalty killers have been awesome in the playoffs. Only 14 goals against them in 115 chances. Housley outside. Housley the shot. Deflected again. Again, Larry Murphy blocked it. Lidstrom cleared it around. Gonchar a good hold. Gonchar dumped it off the dasher, and it intercepted, and Detroit able to clear.
The one thing Detroit wants to do is keep this power play from setting it up because they are really a skilled team. They fear the power play when Washington can move it around. What Detroit wants to do is, when it's back at the point, force it down the wall. Don't let them move it into the middle.
McCarty getting help from Jamie McCow. Lost control of the puck in behind the net. Centering pass Bellows once, twice. First one hit Osgood. Second one hit Rouse. Off the near side wall. Gonchar stepped up, couldn't get it. Gonchar leads Washington in the playoffs with power play goals. He has 3 of them, but Gonchar's not had a goal in the last 9 games. He's out there on the power play. Oates brings it in. He dropped it off, intercepted by Rouse. Rouse tied up. Housley stepped up, held in down low. Oates. Oates looking shot. Osgood a save, and he poked away the rebound. And Chris Osgood is coming up huge here in the first 10 minutes of this game.
He had an option to pass, Adam Oates did, but Sergei Fedorov did such a good job of getting back to take away his option, he was forced to shoot.
And Fedorov intercepts again and clears it back. 30 seconds left on the power play, no score here in this first period. Capitals trying to keep their year alive. Bondra the shot blocked again by Larry Murphy. Dumped back into the middle, short-handed Draper. Draper coming with Maltby. Will rag it back. Still 12 on the power play. Chipped away through center. Washington trying to hustle it up to Bondra. 7 on the advantage. Nikolajin looking at a whistle. And a penalty coming up. And it's going to be an interference call, and it's going to be on Washington. It'll cost them the final 5 seconds of their penalty, and Detroit's going to have a power play in 5 seconds.
Interference to Peter Bondra. Well, we've seen this called a bunch. If a guy interferes with somebody enough to create a scoring opportunity for somebody else on his team, pretty well have to call it. There wasn't much of a doubt about it. This is the play I was talking about earlier when Adam Oates was coming in. Sergei Fedorov went so quickly to Joey Juneau that all of a sudden one of Adam Oates' options, the passing option, disappeared because of Fedorov's hustle.
As he worked hard in this final.
You bet.
I mean, he has really both ends. The Washington players were amazed at the back-checking job he's done. Peter Bondra, 9-12, the interference call, 4-on-4 for 5 seconds. And then Detroit will have a power play coming up. Face-off won by Larionov. Shanahan dumps it into the corner. Power play's underway for Detroit. The Red Wings struggling on the power play. 0 for their last 18 and 0 for 12 in this series against Washington. Washington penalty killers have not given up a power play goal in the last 30 chances against them. The Red Wings get the power play here. Can Detroit put a little nub in that number and get a lead in this game? Larionov back to the point. Larry Murphy the shot blocked by Krieger, but it went high and wide. Krieger got a piece of that and deflected it high. Murphy will chase it back.
See how Washington forces Detroit, especially when Murphy and Lidstrom have it out of the point. Detroit knows that. They're going to try and have a 5-on-5 mentality. Crank it at the net, drive for rebounds, forget the fancy stuff.
Shanahan trying to get it back. Krieger wouldn't let him, and it's cleared out of the zone. Osgood coming back to get it. Osgood, 6th best goal against and the 5th best save percentage among the goaltenders in the playoffs. Kolzig at the other end, 1 in save percentage and 2 in goals against. Murphy waiting. They get onside. Lost control of it. Detroit still changing. Detroit on a power play, but not getting much out of it here with 48 seconds left on it. Back it comes to Fedorov. Fedorov, great read, wide side shot, and score! What a setup by Sergei Fedorov to Doug Brown! Another unsung hero, and at the Joe in Detroit, 19,000 plus watching it on the big screen.
Oh, what a play. What a play. And he makes them look so easy and routine, Sergei Fedorov does. Doug Brown, a great job of finishing it off. But Fedorov, when he spun around, he had 2 guys looking at him and nobody looking around at Doug Brown. Doug Brown came in so quickly. Olaf Kolzig did a pretty good job of getting, look at this. Look at this. Kolzig did a pretty good job of getting over there, but he didn't get settled. It looked like he was asking for an interference call in front. That is Tomas Holmstrom. He was not in the crease. I don't know if he touched it, but Fedorov and Brown made it happen, baby. What a play.
The two of them have worked together ever since Sergei Fedorov signed with Detroit. They have a magic about them, and Scotty Bowman knows it. And Doug Brown, who's always been a role player since Fedorov has showed up, has become much more than a role player. He likes playing with Fedorov, and Fedorov feels the same way. Brought back in by Maltby. Maltby is shot. And hung on to no rebound. Kolzig had it in the glove. But the all-important first goal. It has come on Detroit's 4th shot as they continue that incredible run of scoring goals within the first 10 shots of a game in the playoffs. Doug Brown is the man who got it. For Brown, it will be his 3rd of the playoffs, 2nd of the Stanley Cup Finals. It came at 10. Well, Toe Blake, a great coach of the Montreal Canadiens, was the hero of Scotty Bowman. He knows all about the Cup. Our New Dodge flashback. There he is. 8 Stanley Cup winners as a coach for Toe Blake. Accomplishing the feat for Montreal between 56 and 68. Scotty Bowman tonight can tie Blake for the most cups won by a head coach. If he can pick it up tonight, it will be his 8th as a coach. He leads 5 different franchises in playoff wins as a coach.
And if he wins this series, I'm just about ready to bet anybody that he'll come back next year to try to break Toe Blake's record.
He has 1 more year remaining on his contract, and then he said an option year. But they're leaving it up to him.
Yep.
If he wanted to leave, that would be entirely up to him. Down to 2 minutes to go here in the period. Detroit is now out shooting Washington 11-1 over the last 7.5 minutes of this first period. Mercy, look at that. As soon as they got that goal, the Capitals' offense became non-existent. Larionov was up to help Rouse back. Rouse over to Martin Lapointe. Lapointe sends it into the middle. Larionov. Shanahan sent it deeper. Nikolajin back. What Detroit's got to be careful of here is not getting lulled to sleep with a 1-0 lead in the first period. Fans wanted to call on the trip, won't get it. As Zednik went down, he gets right back up, and the puck is there. So is Larionov and Lapointe. Puck freed up to Shanahan. He'll send that one in as the Red Wings want to change it up. The Detroit Red Wings in this playoff year 12-1 when they score the first goal. They've gotten the first one here, credited to Doug Brown for the moment. Save made by Osgood on the shot by Bondra. Weaving through center, Kozlov with that speed of his to Brown. Brown sends it in. Brown, Kozlov, and Fedorov together. Fedorov got tied up by Gonchar. Puck came free. Brown over on the hit. Puck loose behind the net. Joe Ricci came back under a minute to go here in the first period. Brown tied up for Ruby. Larry Murphy stepped up. Brown knocked it away from Berube behind the net. Gonchar around, intended for Bondra, but it came to center, not connected. Murphy off the near side wall, will take it back. 35 to go here in the first period. Brown trying to send it ahead, had it deflected. Ricky will send it in onside. Nicholas Lidstrom goes back to get it behind the net. Lidstrom over to Larry Murphy. Lidstrom and Murphy logging huge ice times here in this playoff. Murphy 89 minutes, Lidstrom 87 in the first 3 games. Larry Murphy comes to the red, down to 14 to go. Sent in wide, played by Kalle Johansson. Johansson turning it for the Caps who want to get at least another shot on here. Krieger, Todd Krieger with 5 seconds. Krieger cutting. Damon McCown cuts him off and takes him down. Puck underneath the pile, and this period's over. And the Detroit Red Wings have won another period, and they are 2 away from successfully defending the Stanley Cup. Who arrived here at the end of the first period, the great Red Wings defenseman injured in the auto accident last year. Those signs were already there. You know what section that is? 116. You know what his number is? 16th. You know what the date is today? The 16th. You know how many wins you got to have to win the Stanley Cup? 16. That is all fortuitous. That was not planned. This was planned. Brian Engblom.
It's great to see Vladdy Constantino back with his teammates. He was an intimidating guy, and you know there's lots of forms of intimidation over the course of the series. We usually think about a physical presence, but how about speed? There are guys who can really intimidate with speed. Sergei Fedorov is one of those guys. Speed Stick Ultimate Hockey Night Spotlight. Sergei Fedorov on the attack. He backs the defenseman off. Here is where he scored the goal last game, the winning goal, by cutting back. What does he do tonight? He uses that extra room and extra time to find Doug Brown coming in on the other side, and Dougie Brown finished it off. Sergei Fedorov has made a mark on these Washington Capitals defensemen. That's intimidation, guys.
Yeah, you have no choice but to back off. And you know, you saw in that replay, Doug Brown came off the bench. The Capitals knew that Detroit was changing. They knew Doug Brown was coming off the bench. Nobody was there to get him.
Draper and Hunter to start this second period. Faceoff will be won by Hunter. Tenorti trying to clear it ahead. Hunter will come over and pick it up. Great to have you with us here on ESPN, our exclusive coverage of the Stanley Cup Final Game 4, where the Detroit Red Wings have a chance with a victory here to repeat the Stanley Cup champions in consecutive years. Out through center, banged away off the boards by Hunter. Comes right back to him on the poke check by Draper, and Hunter will send that one in wide. First period shot 14-6 in favor of Detroit. Detroit got the only power play goal, 1 for 2. Washington went 0 for 1 on the power play. Held in by Simon, open for a moment. Osgood the save. Leaves it behind or at the side of the net, and it'll be Nicholas Lidstrom getting it out of the zone. Larry Murphy from center. Kolzig, the blocker save. Kicked right back at him by Darren McCarty. He'll cover even though there was nobody around him, and he'll get the whistle.
Right. The Caps have not been able to get their forecheck established. They haven't been able to do it all in this series. And look at the first period numbers for the series. Detroit is out shooting Washington 51-21 in the first periods, outscoring them 5-0. And in this first period, the shots were one-sided, 14-6 for Detroit. Sometimes those shots are misleading. In this game, they are not. 10 scoring chances for Detroit, at least 2 for Washington. One consistent thing has been the play of Ken Klee. He is the strongest defenseman for Washington. He's trying to do what he can do.
Here's Rouse, and a glove save made. After the face-off win, they worked it back to the point. Bob Rouse, no goals, 2 assists here, and a +1 this playoff year, denied by Kolzig. Yet another one of the veterans that Scotty Bowman just keeps rolling out. Those 6 defensemen, and Rouse unspectacularly outstanding.
And Jamie McCowan, same with Slava Fetisov. But Rouse and McCowan are the number 2 pair. They get ice time in between Eriksson and Fetisov's time, and Lidstrom and Murphy. And without those 2 guys, I don't know where Detroit would be.
Kozlov made the save. Fedorov was cutting in and got taken out of the play by Klee. He's still down in the corner. There he is, but a hand pass will result in the whistle. Face-off will come back to center. This MCI Center in the nation's capital has had a lot of new businesses open. That's one of them. The Rock across the street. The Joe Louis Arena live shot. That is the hot tub put in by the Zamboni door. Fans pay money over $19,000. Hello there, folks. How you doing?
No, they haven't melted the ice at the Joe. Not yet.
They pay $8 and it goes into the fund to benefit those who were injured in that accident. Vladimir Konstantinov, of course, that accident after the Stanley Cup win last year. Third back in on Osgood, who knocks it away. Osgood not giving one up in the 7 shots he's faced. Anders Eriksson tied up in his own zone. Oates came over, took it away. Brown back for Fetisov, and he did not get that one out of the zone. Second attempt cleared. Gonchar back after Larionov got it out. Capitals back on side. Gonchar, he can shoot. Gains the blue, heads to the net. Gonchar to return. Fetisov away from him. Slava Fetisov, he'll back it up the wall. Martin Lapointe got it out of there. Lapointe taken out of the play by Gonchar. Back to Zednik. Struck! Great play on a strip of the puck that time by Kozlov. Larionov back to him, shot wide of the net. Rebound off the near side wall. Swept out of the zone. Adam Oates. McCown back to Rouse. Rouse, Detroit on the attack. Larionov for Shanahan. Larionov tied up by Tenorti. Larionov looking for help. Finds Lapointe. Shot! Score! Martin Lapointe!
Olaf Kolzig wants this one back, but he can't have it. What a shot by Lapointe, but it would not have happened had Igor Larionov not spun a whole bunch of magic. Watch this. Mark Tenorti came to him, and Larionov turned so sharply that Tenorti lost his balance, and then it was just laid out there. Don't know if it changed directions or not. Olaf Kolzig has been just about unbeatable straight on. Boy, I don't know. That didn't look like it hit anything. Olaf Kolzig looked like he was fooled on it, but an unscreened shot from inside the blue line by Marty Lapointe after just a superb play by Igor Larionov, and the Red Wings stranglehold gets a little tighter.
If you're behind on your mortgage payments, threatened with foreclosure, denied a loan modification, or have been the victim of a predatory loan, the Stop Foreclosure Group can help. You have rights, and we have options. Call now for a free consultation.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-403-2491. That's 1-800-403-2491.
And in charge of the National Hockey League, Gary Bettman on hand, watching this game tonight here in the nation's capital. And if a Stanley Cup presentation is to be made to the Detroit Red Wings tonight, he will do it down at ice level. And if it indeed happens, it will be one emotional presentation. Faceoff will come to the left side of Osgood. Essa taking it in on the draw. And again, Fedorov won it. Detroit has won 3 consecutive faceoffs down there in their end. Fedorov's got it. Fedorov to crisscross with Yzerman. Yzerman taken out by Tikkanen. Sent it back. Krieger was there. Todd Krieger moved it up the near side boards. Kelly Miller backs it in. Got hit by McCarty, and Miller couldn't hold that on the blue, and that results in the offside call here. Red Wings leading it 2-0. 12:20 to go, second period. Brian Engblom.
Gary, it's very well known that the Detroit Red Wings use a system called the left wing lock. In our Speed Stick Ultimate Hockey Night Spotlight, we're going to give you another look at it. There are the 2 defensemen back on the blue line. 1, 2, there's the left winger, Shanahan, back. He'll retrieve this one very easily. It works real well. But the real key to the left wing lock is pursuit. Look at Darren McCarty. Last guy out of the zone. He catches up. He puts pressure on all the time. Peter Bondra said the other day that you always feel these guys behind you. Yep. That is the real key to why it works, isn't it, Bill?
Absolutely, Brian. They pressure from behind. That forces Washington to turn into a dump and chase team, and that is where they do not match up.
Oates knocked it away. Backhand shot. Never got through. Osgood scored! Adam Oates created the chance for Brian Bellows. And the Caps cut it to 1.
Okay, now the Capitals have awakened this crowd. One guy that's really made the most of his hockey season is Brian Bellows. He got the one in Game 3, and he has scored first for Washington here, and there was a turnover. Jamie McCowan had Adam Oates right on him. Good pursuit by Adam Oates. I mean, short distances, Washington has pretty good quickness, especially Adam Oates. That pass misfired from Fetisov to Jamie McCowan, and that's a different defense pairing out there. It is usually McCowan and Rouse, Fetisov and Anders Eriksson. So when Fetisov passed to McCowan, he wasn't ready for it. Brian Bellows and Adam Oates took advantage of it. Exactly what the Capitals needed to stay alive. Get back into this now.
A 2-1 lead for the Detroit Red Wings on the goal. Picked up by Brian Bellows. 51st of his career as the man returning from Germany. He's played an enormous part here in this Capitals playoff year. It'll be his 6th play. Red Wings big shot advantage in the first. Capitals cutting into that here in the second period. Stevie Yzerman won that face-off. Flashed by Lidstrom. Boy, did he rip that one wide. He got all of it. Gonchar back in behind the net for the Caps. Down 2-1. But they have been down 2-0. 9:20 to go in the second period. Still a 4-on-4 for another 30 seconds. Gonchar in. Little room. Gonchar, the shot is going to save as he flashed it and then got driven into the back of the net, and the penalty coming up. Esa Tikkanen, there's a delayed whistle here. The penalty's on the Caps. Osgood heads out. Yzerman moving it in. Yzerman dumps it. Whistle will come right here. Esa Tikkanen's going to go probably for goaltender interference as he ran into Chris Osgood.
He is arguing it to Bill McCreary, but Bill McCreary saw it, I think the way I saw it. Made pretty good contact with Osgood, and I'm not sure he was pushed in. But Sergei Gonchar, 4-on-4, a little more room for him, and he's the guy that made the play to the net. Here came Tikkanen. Nope, not enough pushing for Esa Tikkanen to argue that.
25th city to have the honor of hosting a Stanley Cup Finals round. And, of course, the White House. And this, the MCI Center, which is only a matter of blocks away from the White House in downtown D.C. Penalty picked up by Esa Tikkanen. Goaltender interference at 11:02. So in this 2-1 game, Detroit on top. They get the power play, their third of the game. They have converted, picking up a power play goal as they broke out of a big offer on the power play here in this game tonight. Washington, shorthanded, wide on Kolzig on the shot from the far point, near side, held in by Murphy. Murphy dropped the shot, Lidstrom, deflected wide. That one hurt Rieke. Kelly Johansson clears it up. Started that with a 4-on-3 power play. Now with the matching minors over, we get a 5-on-4 advantage. Still a power play for Detroit. Sergei Fedorov's got it. Fedorov, he'll send it in. Yzerman will chase down the inside, hit by Oates. Yzerman, Oates, Kelly Johansson, Fedorov. Back for Fedorov, or intended, blocked by Joey Shuno. Great puck protection. Tomas Holmstrom got it to Murphy. Scores! Washington collapsed all the way back. And Vladimir Konstantinov applauding Larry Murphy, who gets a power play goal. And the Joe in St. Louis, in Detroit rather, rocking again.
But Gary, you made a good point on Holmstrom. Puck protection. Tomas Holmstrom, number 96 for Detroit, made a great play to protect the puck. As it came around, it was dumped in. Watch how Holmstrom gets the puck and turns his back and locks out Calle Johansson. Right to Larry Murphy. And this is the only place that Olaf Kolzig has been consistently vulnerable in this series. High to the short side. Doug Brown has scored there. Steve Yzerman, Marty Lapointe have scored there. Now, Larry Murphy has made it 3-1 high to the short side.
And they come right back to Shanahan. Save Kolzig, rebound, deflected high in the air, and a stick to the face on Martin Lapointe, who gets back up and joins the play. Done in from center by Klee. Osgood over to get it. The Detroit Red Wings, who had not scored on a power play, 0 for 18 coming into this game and 0 for 12 in the series, are 2 for 3 on the power play here tonight to take a 3-1 advantage. Up by 2 for the second time. Hunter, off the dasher, near side for Simon. Ooh, got a stick up on Maltby, rather.
It caught him under the helmet here. That was amazing.
Housley shot blocked by Maltby. Right off the takedown. That'll be the penalty on the hook. Guys all over the ice here, but Maltby's the one who looked like that stick went all the way up into the helmet and his back, and he got outplayed.
Right up under, we think, the shoulder pads. It looked like it was under his helmet. Not sure it got up that far. Chris Simon went from there to the front of the net, had Igor Larionov trip him, and now the Capitals get a power play. Great plays by Chris Simon, first avoiding any penalty and then drawing one.
Larionov, 12:41, the hooking power play number 2 for Washington. They are 2 for 14 in the series. They're down by 2 again. Nicolation along the near side. Larry Murphy's go-ahead goal is his 3rd of the playoff year. Nice work by Yzerman to get it out. Holmstrom and Fedorov got the assists at 11:46 on the power play. And with that goal by Larry Murphy, he now ties Larry Robinson for 4th all-time among defensemen in playoff scoring. Coffey, Potvin, and Ray Bohr are the 3 ahead of Robinson and Murphy in that department. Larry Murphy right back out there, hit by Bondra. Cleared up, not out of the zone. Housley working a point on the power play. Tikkanen is set up in front. They're looking to get us a Tikkanen down low. Bill Housley the shot. Shot it right into Draper. Put the body down. Nicolation. Little room. Shot Gonchar. Save Osgood. Rebound. Osgood's got it in the pads. Huge save and the rebound chance in the middle.
A great shot by Nicolation. That's him you're looking at. 2 of them from the slot. The first save by Osgood. Then he was able to smother the second one. But the Capitals are finally finding room in the middle of the Detroit penalty killers. Nicolation has been able to receive 3 different passes on this sequence. Sergei Gonchar with 1 shot that came through on the great pad save, and then Nicolation was really sharp on the rebound. Chris Osgood, I'm not sure, felt that he had it completely. But once he was sure that it wasn't going to get it behind him, he was punching away at Nicolation saying, hey, this is my house, my blue paint, get out of here.
86th game of the year played by Chris Osgood for Detroit. Capitals still have 1:04 remaining on the power play. We're that close to getting it back to 1. Jamie McCown cleared it around. Bounced by Gonchar. Well, the Capitals back through center. Joey Juno on the tip from Oates never got there. McCown clears it up. Kolzig will hold it down. Shots 25-16. 6:08 to go here in the second period. 47 seconds left on the second power play of the game for the Capitals. McCown cleared it ahead, short-handed Doug Brown, who's got one of the goals. First one, in fact, in this game for Detroit. Martin LaPointe had number 2, and then Murphy number 3. Off the blocker on the Oates pass, really. Housley centered inside Juno. Juno centered, let it drop. Juno shot and ripped it wide. Juno passed the first time, shot the second, but didn't get it on net. Gonchar leaves it on top. Housley looking. Brown went down, gets back up, blocked by Rush. Picked up by Brown. Middle of Fedorov, short-handed. Fedorov near side. 10 left on the Detroit penalty. Fedorov cleared. Both teams will change it up, and that'll do it. Washington does not convert. They are 0 for 2 on the power play. Detroit remains up 3-1. Larionov just out of the penalty box, sent it back in. Bill Housley again turning it up ice. Hunter coming across it. Larionov was on him. Osgood back in behind the net. Fetisov came back, got tied up, came back, got the puck, took the hit from Hunter. Martin LaPointe, the high flip. Larionov at center, banked it away. Shanahan picks it up. Shanahan sends it back into his own zone here. Dangerous pass. Creates a 2-on-1 down low. They can't get it center. Martin LaPointe coming back to help out that time as Washington on the intercept. Simon moved it in. Kozlov's shot save made. Pulls it. Leaves it. Kelly Johansson. Detroit changing it up again. Detroit back. Lining up at center. Johansson got it through. Good pass though. Hunter sent in. Behind the net. Fetisov there. Cleared it around off the dasher. Not out. Klee was able to hold it in. Fetisov will reverse direction on it. Read by Tikkanen. After Tikkanen over. He and Larry Murphy do battle. In the corner. Tikkanen won it. Fetisov back in behind the net. Slava Fetisov looking. Capitals changing it up. Tomas Holmstrom cleared it off Darren McCarty into the zone. McCarty stood up, taken out of the play by Klee. Rickey back in behind the net. At center, Rouse. Rouse banged it up in front of his own bench, lost it there. Miller over. McCown got there. Rouse had it. It was an offside or a penalty coming here. Penalty coming. Bill McCreary, a high sticking call. 3:53 to go in the second. Vladimir Konstantinov, if the Red Wings win, he will go down to the ice.
So here's the call. He dumped it on the sideboards to get it by. Oh gosh, he ran right into the side. That was Todd Krieger. And Krieger, I think, it was a high sticking call, but I'm not so sure Krieger didn't hit the glass where it starts there, right on the edge.
Into that separation area at the end of the bench where the padding is. Maltby will move in as Draper is chased out of there. Washington gets the power play, third of the game. They're 0 for 2. Virtual back-to-back power plays here for the Caps. Red Wings, though, will force them to go deep as Lidstrom set at the length of the ice. Detroit, they have scored 6 shorthanded goals here in the playoffs. A couple of shorthanded goals have been allowed by Washington. Onside Nick collision. Osgood a save. Face off. Stay in the zone. World Cup Soccer continues. ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC. The coverage of the World Cup Soccer match, 11 a.m. Chile and Austria will be going at it. Italy, Cameroon at 2:30. Those matches coming your way tomorrow for Group B teams. Matching up.
You know, the Red Wings do so many things that are underrated. Attention to detail. They're the best line-changing team in the NHL. They change often. They change clean on the fly. This time, chance for Scotty Bowman to change up his penalty killers after 23 seconds. Draper and Maltby off, Fedorov and Yzerman on.
Yzerman won the face-off. Larry Murphy down, trying to poke it up the boards. Yzerman came back to help to Fedorov. Back over to Yzerman, short-handed. Yzerman is stuck. Shot and missed it as he went for the wide side. Back over to Fedorov from Lidstrom. Yzerman was clearing the zone and heads to the bench. Change it up. Larry Murphy will send it the length of the ice. Murphy's 1-1, a goal and an assist here in tonight's game. Sergei Fedorov has added a couple of points tonight on assists as well for Detroit with their 3-1 lead. The collision forced back by Brown. Capitals on a power play here for another minute. Still trying to get to the red here, and they couldn't. Slava Fetisov sent it the other way. Washington's power play in the playoff year, 14 for 82 so far, and 2 for 15 in this series. Near side for Darren McCarty. McCarty got banged up by Nick Collision. Nick Collision didn't like Fetisov coming in from behind. Still 41 left on the power play for the Caps. Ibiza storyline looks like this. 100th career playoff assist for Oates. The Capitals outscoring Detroit 5-2 in the second period in this series. Doug Brown, goal number 4, second in the last 3 games for Detroit.
These are replays. The first 2 goals of the game, they look a lot alike. Get it deep, turn it back to the blue line. Fedorov hit Doug Brown. Then Igor Larionov in deep, hook it back up, hit Marty Lapointe. Now, one of the reasons Larionov and Fedorov both like to penetrate the offensive zone on their off wing is for that reason. Once they hook it back up, they are on their forehand for that pass, not the backhand.
Johansson, save made. Osgood, rebound, just ripped wide from the point. Good chances on this power play for the Capitals. Joey Juno. Tenorti goes to the front of the net. Johansson, a shot tipped side. May have hit the post. Osgood looking to cover, but it came free. Kelly Johansson, the scramble. Tenorti, the shot. Deflected wide. Sergei Fedorov cleared it out of the zone. That second shot got behind Osgood. I don't know if it hit the post or not, but he reached back and got it out of there. Kelly Johansson near side. Power play is over. Shot right through the top of the crease. Bellows winds up, takes it, blocked by Murphy. 5-on-5 again. Murphy swung it away. So 0 for 3 on the power play in this game now for the Washington Capitals. Johansson coming back. Johansson will touch it up, and that'll be an icing call.
Well, you had to know the Washington Capitals were going to try and throw, especially on their power play, everything they could at Chris Osgood. Joey Juno, Brian Bellows, and Adam Oates have been all around him. That line has scored the only goal. Bellows got it earlier. Chris Osgood has been able to come up big, even on some funky plays. Calle Johansson let that one rip, and it was deflected. Osgood got it with the glove, and then was able to throw Adam Oates off by diving out and pushing the puck in the middle of his skates. I mean, a great play. Yeah, it was tipped right out front, and Chris Osgood followed it all the way, made the save, and then kept Adam Oates from getting the rebound. Boy, good play by Johansson. It was Mark Tenorti that was in there that actually deflected it. Oh, Adam Oates has been parked at the side of the net so many times in different series. Dominik Hasek robbed him in the Buffalo series. Chris Osgood has robbed him in this series.
1 goal against him on the 19 shots. Back to 5-on-5. Martin Lapointe has to take it in. Kelly Miller. Miller inserted into the lineup for speed. Comes around to the near side. Poke checked away from him by Shanahan. Not out of the zone. Shanahan again. He'll clear it this time. And Gonchar back to get it. 1:18 left to go. Second period. The Detroit Red Wings with a chance to win the Stanley Cup in consecutive years. They won the first period, and they're winning the second. Ricky going back to get it. He drops it back deeper into the zone. They get back onside. Nicholas near side with a minute left to go. Swung it in front. Bondra! Osgood! Save! Bondra center! Goldstuff sticks it out of the zone. It'll be an icing call. 2 chances for Peter Bondra.
Bonsai. Well, the Caps can't say he's not getting his chances. Peter Bondra has been in the right place at the right time and just hasn't been able to finish. Boy, he got a lot on this shot. And Chris Osgood again got a piece of it. Didn't know where it was going. Got some help. See, lost sight of it. Then he looked around. Uh-oh, it's falling back. Peter Bondra got the rebound. Wasn't able to get it to drop on his stick. And finally, I mean, if Chris Osgood can just make the first save, all of a sudden there's just a sea of red around. Look, 4 different red jerseys came back in to help him. So that's how tough it is to get a rebound. And Peter Bondra was there but couldn't get it because of the 4 guys that came back to help.
Now with 48 seconds left, Red Wings leading on the game in shots. Faceoff will come to the left side of Osgood. Lidstrom behind the net for Larry Murphy. Around, not out. Tenorti held it in. McCarty cleared the zone. Brown from Fedorov and Murphy. Lapointe from Larionov and Rouse. Murphy from Holmstrom and Fedorov, the Detroit goal. Bellows from Juneau and Oates. The only goal for the Caps, but at that point in the second period made it 2-1. But it's 3-1 right now with the Red Wings on top. Classic Sports Ultimate Stanley Cup action. Friday starting at 9 o'clock. Bill Clement, Brian Engblom. We'll take a look at 1994 Game 7, the Vancouver Canucks and the New York Rangers. That's coming your way on Friday, 8 Eastern. Face off to the right side of Chris Osgood. 29 seconds left. Big face off here in the offensive zone. The Washington Capitals try and get shots off. But Yzerman beat Oates on the draw. Oates broke his stick on that chance. Cleared back out through center. Kyle Johansson drops it back. Murphy, McCarty, Sergei Fedorov up to Lidstrom. Lidstrom coming to the red. Dumps it in off an arm of Kyle Johansson. Pulls it later around the near side of Peter Bondra. Bondra looking up ice and behind the play, a penalty coming.
Oh boy, a bad one too, Gary. Mark Tenorti gave Darren McCarty the old jab in the back of the leg. As he was leaving the hit, McCarty made a good clean hit on Tenorti, and Tenorti took him down with a poke to the back of the leg. It's subtle, but it's dangerous. It's also effective in taking the guy down if you don't get caught, but at this stage of a hockey game, not the penalty Mark Tenorti wanted to take.
With only 6.6 seconds left here in this period, Detroit will get a chance for a shot on the power play with Tenorti out on the slash in 1953 because the faceoff will be at the top of the circle in the Capital zone. Stanley Cup, of course, is in the house. Stanley Cup here at the MCI Center, but up at Union Station for folks to drop in and see over the last couple of days. And on hand here tonight, just in case. Point shot Lidstrom deflected way back into the seats. Still 2.7 seconds left on the clock. 4th power play of the game for Detroit.
Boy, as good as Adam Oates is in the faceoff, Steve Yzerman has been better in this series. Coming into tonight's action, 21 of 33 head-to-head faceoffs have been won by Steve Yzerman against Adam Oates.
See the face-off in the head-to-head matchups. Yzerman was 5th best in the National Hockey League during the regular season. Oates was tied for 7th. Best percentages in face-off wins. Yzerman actually won that one, but Ricky's able to play it out. The Red Wings are 1 period away from defending the Stanley Cup.
And now the Capitals are really facing what amounts to the Mount Everest of hockey. Coming back against a team that is incredibly strong defensively, the Detroit Red Wings, and to make matters worse, the Caps are going to have to come out and kill a penalty to even get started in the 3rd period.
Minute 53 on the power play for Detroit when they come back out. maybe for the last time this season. They're ahead in their chase to defend the cup with Doug Brown. 10:30 of the first period. Martin Lapointe, 2:26 of the second. And Larry Murphy, 11:46 of the second. 3-1 win. And 7 losses in the Stanley Cup Finals. Chris Osgood looking for the victory in net. The man who has taken Washington to this level for the first time, Olaf Kolzig, who's given up the 3 goals on 26 shots. Tenorti's in the penalty box. Power play for Washington, 1:49 left on it as we start period number 3. Washington shorthanded. Osgood will knock that one down. Larry Murphy coming back to get it. Brown, Lapointe, Murphy have the goals for Detroit. Brian Bellows, the only goal for the Caps. Eiserman in, knocked down. Played by Gonchar, up and out of the zone. Great to have you with us here on ESPN. Thanks for joining us here at the MCI Center. Our exclusive coverage of Game 4 and maybe the last game of this National Hockey League season. Lidstrom shot, Kolzig save, rebound, there is none. He hangs on just like our Darren Pang. Darren?
I'm hanging on there, guys. Listen, the Detroit Red Wings really leave no stone unturned. You go to their bench in the second period, they change where their sticks are on the bench. They move it to the defensive side of the ice. You don't see many teams do that. Their trainer, Paul Boyer, responsible for that. That was the end of the second. Now they move them all back now towards their defensive zone as well, where the defensemen are coming on, protecting their goaltender. And also their skate sharpener goes right in between their bench to the locker room so that they can make a quick change right there with the skates. Always thinking that, Paul Boyer, fellas.
Larry Murphy back on top. I think Scotty had something to do with that. Larry Anoff shot, and it went wide. Came back to Murphy. Detroit on the power play. Centered for Shanahan, deflected away. Nick Collision will move it out of the zone. Short-handed, the collision poke checked away by Murphy. Got it back along the boards, hit by Larry Anoff. Murphy dug it out. And Larry Murphy will find that loose puck. 2 for 4 on the power play for Detroit. Washington trying to get one. 2 for 3 so far on the power play. This is the 4th power play. Larry Anoff's got it. Larry Anoff looking back into the middle. Shanahan there. Shot. Kolzig a save. And a good one. And hangs on.
Boy, a good offensive play by Shanahan, but an even better defensive play moments ago when Washington was trying to defend. Here, Brendan Shanahan was in deep, and he was trying to make the play happen. But the Washington Caps came roaring away. Now, this is a power play for Detroit. You'd think maybe guys would let up. Check this out. Brendan Shanahan came all the way back to track down Nick Collision and negate the Washington rush, the shorthanded rush, and then Shanahan all the way back down in perfect offensive position. That's what's underrated about the Red Wings. I think the most underrated thing. If you don't get a chance to see it because he's not always by the puck, it is their back checking.
And the opposition always acknowledges that, as the Caps have in this series. Kozlov coming in. Kozlov with Brown. Kozlov. Brown shot. Stop! Dougie Brown! Second goal of this game! Another power play goal for Detroit. They extend their lead to 4-1. And they're starting to shine the cup.
Boy, aren't they? You pay for mistakes against the Detroit Red Wings because they are so darn skilled and patient. Look at Kozlov. Nice and easy. A perfect pass that he had to lift over Joe Riki's stick and landed on the tape of Doug Brown. Watch this. This is a thing of beauty. A flat, perfect pass to Doug Brown. They're going upstairs to look at this. Doug Brown looks like he skated into the crease to shovel that into the net. But it is under review right now. So maybe the Washington Caps will end up with one last reprieve on this.
Brown out there with Fedorov and Kozlov, as so often happens. He's often been given the nickname of Brownov because he skates so often with the Russian players. It is a good goal, and it is a 4-1 lead. First multiple goal game in his playoff career.
One more look at it. This is a fabulous pass. It looks so easy, but after it got over Riki's stick, the puck only had about 4 to 5 feet of ice to get back down on the Doug Brown stick, so it had to be absolutely perfect. Just skim over Riki's stick.
That'll be touched up on the icing call. And underway here in the third period, the Detroit Red Wings, for the first time in this game, have a 3-goal lead. Doug Brown. Face-off will come to center. On the draw. Adamos won it, got it back. Sent it back into the middle. Bello, he's got a goal. Juno, Osgood reached out, knocked it away. Held in along the near side. Tenorti originally. Jamie McCown doing battle. Rouse came over to help. McCown will pick up the loose puck over for Kozlov. He's got Fedorov in the middle, and Fedorov broken up. Good play by Hauser. House brings it back in onside. He'll cover that one in behind the net. Mark Tenorti came back to get it. Capitals' first appearance ever in the Stanley Cup Final. First chance for a finals series, obviously, to be played here in the nation's capital. Detroit finished third in the NHL overall. Washington finished 8th overall in the league. Cleared back along the boards. Anders Eriksson poked it away from Adamos. Sent deeper. Charlie Johansson comes back to get it. Johansson will leave it to Joey Juno. Juno dumped it into the middle. Yzerman the poke check. Yzerman the pass to Tomas Holmstad. Holmstad's got Yzerman in the middle. Holmstad looking for help. Back for Yzerman behind the net. Yzerman knocked down, pinned down by Miller. Puck underneath him, and that'll draw the whistle. Detroit has won the last 10 games they've played against Washington. 9-0-1. On the verge, maybe, of winning the 11th in a row.
I'm not sure a guy like Slava Fetisov counted on winning another cup. And Jamie McCowan won a Stanley Cup at age 27 in 1989 with the Calgary Flames. He was rescued from the Toronto Maple Leafs organization just at the trading deadline. Here he is 9 years later at age 36 on the verge of another one. Slava Fetisov at age 40. You know, we forget that he was actually in that automobile with Vladimir Konstantinov and Sergei Stakhanov, the masseur for the Detroit Red Wings, and he was in the hospital as well with Vladimir Konstantinov, and it's only been in the last couple of months that Slava Fetisov has felt like his old self, cardiovascular-wise, emotionally as well. A lot of scars, physical and emotional, that he had to get over, and that's why in the last couple of months he has started to think about playing another year.
Doug Harvey at age 43 and Alan Stanley, the only guys over 40 who picked up points in the finals. And Slava Fetisov joining them. Question, it's so ironic here somewhat that in this, we watch these Detroit players, Doug Brown's worried about not being protected for the expansion draft. Slava Fetisov worried about not being signed again, that they may not want him back on this team. Over to Martin Lapointe. Bang back behind the net, Kalle Johansson. All that doesn't matter right now. Just one more time, get their names inscribed on the Stanley Cup. With another 12:40 to go, Detroit maintains that lead. They'll get it. Lee dropped it out the center. Lee moving it up, blue line chance. Osgood banks it away. Chris Osgood, he has made 23 saves in this game. His will continue to probably be the last name anybody talks about when they talk about Detroit winning the Stanley Cup. The Rodney Dangerfield goaltenders in the NHL. No, you won't care. Jump back in behind the net. Larry Murphy cleared it around. Joey Kosar banged away to center. Simon had it, lost it. They're going to get back onside. Berube drops it deep. John Char in. Osgood held it up.
Again, I mean, Darren Pang brought up a good point after the first period. Chris Osgood's decisions with the puck and when to go out behind the net, when to dive out to stop a guy like Joey Juno like he did a couple of minutes ago, they've been perfect. His decision-making process has been perfect.
Simon's pass, Kosar intercepted. Kosar had it swept away by Berube to Simon. Simon drops it in the middle. Hunter had that one poke checked away. Will it be Hunter's last chance to have his name inscribed on a Stanley Cup? Dale Hunter, 18 years in the National Hockey League. Finally a chance, and it may all go by in 4 straight. Larry Murphy starts it up. Murphy looking on the right for Fedorov. Dumped it in, on goal, and that will be a whistle. Face-off will come to center, 11:20 left.
He goes back to back, goes hip to hip, he goes face to face, and now here's the tip. If he don't want it, he throws it right back. He knows the poor sucker's gonna take up the slack. The man with the magic, that's who I'm talking about. Oh yeah, don't give me all that kind of lucky and such and such. The man with the magic touch.
He's had a magic touch, Doug Brown, and he just missed, hitting the hat trick. Brown set up again. He's behind the net. Brown looking out in front. In Kozlov, Fedorov, and Brown on this line for Detroit. Kicks away Kozlov, trying to send it deep. Nick Collision was there to knock it away. Behind the net, Johansson. Brown intercepted. Back up. Couldn't connect on the pass. Coming to center, Joey Juno. Juno in on Osgood, knocks it down. He'll hang on. Red Bondra looking for the rebound.
Well, that was a little tribute to Steve Yzerman, the man that we all feel is a shoo-in for the Conn Smythe Trophy as the playoffs MVP.
You know, he's only won one award. He won the Lester Pearson Award back in 1989, voted on by the players as the outstanding player in the league.
That's it.
Never won anything else. Never even been in the All-Star.
Has never made the first or second All-Star team. And this is a guy that had 2 60-goal seasons. In 88-89, he had 60 goals. Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky were the centers on the 2 All-Star teams. The next year, he got 62 goals. Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky were the centers on the first and second All-Star teams.
See whether or not he's going to have a little bit of hardware tonight with that small collection. Cleared back up into the zone by Darren McCarty. Steve Yzerman, 17th place in the all-time list in scoring. Past year, another outstanding season for him here in the playoffs. He has just been enormous. Joey Juno, perhaps though are not done yet. Holmstrom back at his own end, but the puck was hit with a high stick. That'll be whistled down. What you will note, though, is that the intensity of the play physically from Washington severely reduced from periods 1 and 2.
Yep, the life just gets sucked right out of you when you've fallen behind the Detroit Red Wings, because you don't really sit there and say it's over. But you sit there and understand that there's very little you can do to get back into the hockey game. Detroit now has minimum of 4 guys back, very often 5. You try to bust through, you try to do what you can. But that red wall that plays such tenacious defensive hockey is just about impenetrable.
Ron Wilson has never beaten Detroit as a coach in the playoffs. 0 for 7 against Detroit in the playoffs coming into this game. His goaltender is 0 for 6 against Detroit in any game he's played against them. And of course, at the other end, Osgood trying to go 8-0 against Washington in his career. Kelly Johansson played it back in the corner. Yzerman had stepped up. Mark Tenardi on the near side. Tenardi got it out for the long pass. Bell in shot. Osgood makes the save, deflected to the near side. Good setup by Bellows that time for Adam Oates. But Osgood was there. Larry Murphy. Washington, of course, take all kinds of chances. Bellows try to back it in, hit the slot. Juno, save made by Osgood. Joey Juno on a rebound, but Osgood dove and got it.
Oh, really great penetration that time. It started with a super pass in the neutral zone by Brian Bellows. Adam Oates with a chance, stuffed by Osgood. Joey Juno, the guy that Brian Engblom talked about in our open, the guy that Ron Wilson said he can be a big game player for us. He is the guy that can have a spectacular performance. Was stymied completely by Chris Osgood. Watch this play. Juno will come to it. Just a little blocker save by Chris Osgood. He had the paddle down. Brian Bellows was trying for the stuffer himself, but it rolled off his stick. Chris Osgood followed it all the way.
The Red Wings now with 33 shots on goal, 27 for the Caps. Yet another game for Olaf Kolzig, where he's had to face 30 or more shots. That has been the norm. 16 of the 20 games coming into this one, now 17 of 21 this playoff year. Esa Tikkanen. That one ripped wide. Todd Krieger bounced into the middle. Larionov was started back up ice. Larionov splitting the D or tried, deflected in. Kolzig hung on long enough to draw the whistle here. We're down to 9:05 remaining to go. For Detroit, of course, they won the Cup last year with Mike Vernon in net. They win it this year, it'll be with Chris Osgood. The last time a team won consecutive Stanley Cups with 2 different goaltenders playing every minute in the final round, 68-69. Gump Worsley and Rogie Vachon.
Rogie Vachon came in as a rookie and won a 2nd consecutive Cup for the Montreal Canadiens. Chris Osgood had to face the pressure all season long of not only replacing a guy that won the Stanley Cup, but Mike Vernon won the Conn Smythe as the MVP last year in the playoffs.
And there wasn't much question when that series ended last year. Osgood was going to be the netminder, and that's what he's done. Up and out of the zone. Berube batted it away. Batisov. Simon had a piece of that. Couldn't control. Martin Lapointe got it. Lapointe to Batisov has got an open lane. Save made. Kolzig off the near side. Washington's Berube cleared it right back out. Played back by Anders Eriksson. 8:37 left here in the third period. Won't be a lot of people leaving, even though there are a lot of Cap fans on hand. Most of them have never seen the Stanley Cup presentation. So even if it's not going to be to their team, they're going to stay on hand to see that piece of history. Brought back in by Draper. Draper with Gonchar, centered it. Back into the middle. Maltby just went by on the return pass. Jamie McCann ahead. Simon kicked away. Draper will drop it back into the zone. And Detroit, Joey Koser. He'll just send that one down ice. Back to get it, Gonchar, Sergei Fedorov. Gonchar came away with a puck. Gonchar will move it up. Nicolaitan, Red Brown moved in on him. Swept into the corner. Looking, Zednik was out in front. Came back to Ricky, but it bounced over his stick. Ricky held it in along the boards. Loose puck, Nicolaitan centered. Zednik couldn't get a shot off. Bonga battled. Picked up with the Zednik shot. Osgood with a glove save. You got that 4-1 lead. You're in net for Detroit. You're feeling really, really good.
Chris Osgood, the goaltender for Detroit, is the man that has ice running through his veins. That one looked easy. A glove save. No pressure for Chris Osgood. At least he claims not to feel it. The more we've watched him, the more we've seen him rebound, the more we believe him.
He makes another save off the face-off win by the Caps. 7:31 remaining to go. Osgood looking for win number 16. Magic number. Means you have won the Stanley Cup. 4 consecutive sweeps if Detroit wins in 4 years. That has never happened in NHL history. But it will if Detroit sweeps this series. Last time a team had back-to-back Stanley Cup wins and did it by sweeping the New York Islanders. And the Detroit players are talking a bit about that today, recognizing that great Islander team, saying, you know, if it happens, we sure wouldn't mind being mentioned in that same sentence. Yzerman shot, Kolzig a save, and he'll cover that one up to get the face-off. 7:07 left to go. The Red Wings of Kolzig. Yzerman will come out against Esatikin, and Yzerman won it back to Anders Eriksson on the tip. Shot rolled in. Kolzig wants to keep the clock going, too. He's not kidding himself. Pushed it off the boards. Cleared back out through center. With chase on and a penalty coming. Slava Fetisov trying to hold his man off and ended up holding. They'll call it interference here. So Fetisov will go to the bench, and the Capitals will get a power play.
With Zednik, who for his size of just under $180 is really strong. Number 44 uses the wide stance, great balance. He just kept his legs moving long enough for Bill McCreary to call it a hook or an interference. I don't even know what it was officially called, but it doesn't matter. Washington is going to get one more crack on the power play. Interference officially.
The last real chance. They've got to get one right here and cut this 3-goal lead to 2 with only 6:52 remaining to go. Their power play, it'll be the 4th of the game. They've not been able to convert on their previous 3 chances. See the power play in the playoffs and what they have done here tonight. Capitals power play was ranked 13th overall during the regular season. Short-handed, Yzerman got it out of there. Poke checked it away and then got hauled down by Nicolaitan, who fearfully was going to take off. Into the zone. Lidstrom. Yzerman off the dasher. Cleared out on the backhand. Chased down by Gonchar. Sergei Gonchar has had a tough final. Has not had a goal in the last 10 games, including this one. And they count on him. They counted on him all season long, and he just has not been able to find the back of the net. Bondra trying to drop it off. Murphy was there. Held in by the Caps on the advantage with Housley. Housley the shot. Knocked down by Murphy and cleared out by Brown. Alon Kolzig will come out to help the cause here. As he drops it off, Phil Housley will pick it up. Down to the 6-minute mark. Brown got a piece of that. Fedorov back to Brown. And Brown will swing it back into the zone. Gonchar again forced back. Sergei Gonchar starts it up. Joey Juno. Juno off the boards for Adam Oates. Oates centered. Quick pass intended for Gonchar. It stays at House. Power play. Down to 48 seconds left on it. Shot Housley. Tipped wide. Played back up to Gonchar. And intercepted Jamie McCown.
Boy, when Detroit can force the play down the wall, and that's what they do so well, their defensemen just jump on it. Jamie McCown made a great read there, but he knew it was coming because he knew his forward would force it down the wall.
Larionov sends it right back in on Colton. 25 seconds left on this power play. 5:16 left to go, third period. Red Wings on top. They score 4-1. Looking to win 2 Stanley Cups here back-to-back. Into the zone, would have been offside. Caps let it go. Murphy sends it up. 9 seconds left on this power play. Essa Tikkanen comes back to get it behind the net. Tikkanen, Kalle Johansson. Johansson in. Hyman looking in the middle. Bellows knocked it down. Fetisov out of the penalty box, picks it up. Fetisov to the red. He'll send that one in. Martinordi coming back to get it. 4:40 left to go in the third period. Berube's got it. He, of course, will be right here. We'll cover the famous awarding of the cup. Conn Smythe winner, the MVP. The skating of the cup on the ice by the Detroit Red Wings. The award being made, of course, by Gary Bettman here tonight. Sent back up near side. That's going to be an offside on the Caps. 4:20 left from the Detroit Red Wings, successfully defending their cup. And Vladimir Konstantinov is on his way down to ice level. He will be part of the awards ceremony tonight. Most of those names are already inscribed on the Stanley Cup. They will go there again for the Detroit Red Wings, who are 4 minutes 17 seconds away from having that great honor. Cleared back in by Tenorti. Berube with Larry Murphy on him. Hunter deflected it. Murphy reached in, poke checked it away. 37-30 the shots. 4-1 the score. The Detroit Red Wings have not trailed in this game as Doug Brown got him on the board. 10:30 of the first from Fedorov and Murphy. 2:26 of the second. LaPointe from Larionov and Rouse 2-0. Bellows at 7:49 of the second made it 2-1 from Juneau and Oates. Then Murphy from Holmstrom and Fedorov at 11:46 of the second. And Doug Brown's second goal of the game from Kozlov and Eriksson at 1:32 of the third has given Detroit the 4-1 lead, which they are now protecting. Eisenman sends it in. Gonchar comes back to get it. Picked back up by Tomas Holmstrom. Eisenman looking in front. Eisenman dumps it back for Holmstrom. Holmstrom, McCarty, and Holmstrom battling with Gonchar. Gonchar got it up to Simon. Gonchar will pick up the loose puck and cleared it out. Jamie McCown sends it back in, and they will let them play it here. Played back in behind the net. The Detroit Red Wings, it'll be the 9th time that they will have won the Stanley Cup, and a couple of times in the past they have done it on back-to-back occasions in a long, great history of this Detroit NHL franchise. Back comes Brown. Can he get the hat trick? In. Shot. Missed that one wide on the short side.
He likes mine to the short side. It's been his bread and butter spot.
It's worked twice in this game, so keep on going. Larry Murphy, 2 minutes and 32 seconds remaining to go here in the third period. Martin LaPointe gave chase. Detroit changing it up behind the play, keeping the fresh legs out there on the ice. Osgood again knocking it down. Intercepted by Peter Bond. Washington changing up here. Shanahan moved it out. Intercepted at center. Washington gets onside. Osgood will glove it down. Played back to Rouse. Rouse around, kicked up by Shanahan. Kalle Johansson with it. 2 minutes remaining to go in this NHL season. Near side, LaPointe had it. Essa Tikkanen centered. McCown blocked. Played up off the stick of Martin LaPointe. Larionov on the left. LaPointe, and he'll feather that in along the boards. Kolzig came back to play it. Down to 1:44 left to go. Krieger touched it. 2-line pass. Our head and shoulders storyline here in Game 4. Murphy a goal and an assist tonight, tied for 4th all-time defenseman in playoff points. Red Wings power play, it worked tonight. The Red Wings scoring early, getting the lead and keeping it.
Head and Shoulders replay. Well, it's not a replay, it's live. Lord Stanley's Cup is out of the box and onto the table. Getting ready to be held by the Detroit Red Wings. There's an open spot to the right on the bottom. Champagne set to go. The hats, the t-shirts are ready to go.
Lord Stanley's Cup first awarded in 1893. It is the oldest trophy, symbolic of a championship in North America. Cost $50 when it was first purchased by Lord Stanley for the Amateur League. First awarded in Montreal, appropriately, where it's been awarded so many times. Tonight it'll be awarded for the first time ever in this nation's capital and for the Detroit Red Wings. 1 minute, 13 seconds remaining on the clock. Maltby was up, Housley knocked it away. Near side. Krieger guns it. This gloved ahead out of the zone by Eisenman. 1 minute left to go. In Detroit, over 19,000 are watching this game on the big screen. Their celebration has already started. The Red Wings will leave the nation's capital after this game tonight. There you see the live shot. The Octopi can be on the ice with no delay of game tonight in Detroit.
The Red Wings, too, finally have felt that it's safe to celebrate. They've been hugging one another, talking it up on the bench. You can tell the anticipation. The ground is waiting to get over. They just can't wait to charge.
Under a minute left to go. Off the near side boards. Ricky played it up. Konstantinov already down at ice level. Coming out on the ice on the cups awarded. Eisenman. Over to Darren McCarty. Back for Eisenman. Bolzig makes the save. Hangs on.
And for once, Tomas Holmstrom didn't stand his ground. Nothing to be gained now in the rebound. He just got shoved and said, I'm getting out of here. We've got this one won.
He leads all playoff forwards, players in goals scored. He has picked up 10.
And there were those that thought Sergei Fedorov was motivated by the money. He was motivated, and that's why he got the big money this year. What a player he's been in the playoffs. Chris Osgood, I don't know if we can actually comprehend the performance that he's put together, facing adversity at different times of this playoff season.
Back in behind the net, 25 seconds to go. Those who were not on the ice last year for the celebration for Detroit: Tomas Holmstrom, Jamie McCown, Anders Eriksson. Kevin Hodson, the backup goaltender, will be out there tonight. The countdown begins. 10 seconds away from successfully defending the Stanley Cup, the Detroit Red Wings. Their bench up. Osgood with his arms up over his head coming out. The Detroit Red Wings have won the Stanley Cup for the second year in a row. A live shot in Detroit. And Vladimir Konstantinov is coming on the ice. The Detroit players are at the exact opposite end of the ice here. Konstantinov coming out in the wheelchair. Scotty Bowman has now tied Toe Blake as a coach. 8 Stanley Cup rings, 9 total. One as a director of personnel in Pittsburgh. Scotty Bowman being congratulated by players who may complain a lot sometimes about how tough he is on them, but at this moment they love him dearly.
This is the day they love Scotty Bowman more than any man in the world, because they know he has been such a huge part of them getting to this place.
The Capitals, in a great show of sportsmanship, coming over here to congratulate, say hi to Vladimir Konstantinov. The line is slowly forming. The tradition, of course, of lining up, shaking hands with the opposing team. Capitals waiting for the rest of the Detroit Red Wings to come out of that corner. Larry Murphy is doing just that. Olaf Kolzig, an enormous year. Nobody expected him to do what he did this season. He wasn't even supposed to be the #1 goaltender.
And he will be the #1 goaltender and a great goaltender in this league for at least the next 5 years.
Fedorov played only 21 regular season games because of the contract dispute. Questioned whether he would even come back. He did and ended up with 10 goals to lead all goal scorers in the playoffs. And Steve Yzerman awaits the announcement on the Conn Smythe, knowing he knows. He knows.
He knows. Drafted in 1983 and only won his first cup last year and ended a 42-year drought for the Detroit Red Wings. And after this franchise going 42 years without one, they now win back-to-backers.
Scotty Bowman, 32nd finals win, tying him for second all-time with Dick Irvin, behind only Toe Blake, who has 34. For Mike Ilitch, who has invested so much in all of Detroit in so many ways, the owner of this team, another big-time celebration. The Capitals fans giving their team a standing ovation, while at the Joe Louis in Detroit, the confetti and papers flying. That's a live shot. Vladimir Konstantinov.
Good for him.
4-1. Red Wings over the Capitals. They sweep. The second year in a row they win by sweeping. And Brian Engblom is down on the ice. Bry.
Thanks very much, Gary. And with Ole Kolzig. Ole, becoming a great player is the process. You made so many steps forward this year in the regular season and in the playoffs to become a great player. Do you feel different about yourself now?
I mean, I definitely feel a lot more confident. I feel that I can be an effective player in this league, and yeah, I did get over the hump, and it's a great feeling. I got a bit of an empty feeling right now, but in a few weeks it'll pass, and we'll realize how great a season we had.
When you look back at the playoffs, though, is it everything you expected it to be?
Yeah, dealing with the media was something else. I mean, I didn't expect that, but I mean, it was exciting. Fans of Washington were unbelievable, and it was a great run. I mean, we lost to the defending champs, and they played like it. They definitely deserve it.
Well, you deserve an awful lot of credit, too. Congratulations. Outstanding. Gary Thorne.
Right, thanks very much. The presentation of the MVP, the Conn Smythe Award. Let's go down to ice level.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman to present the Conn Smythe Trophy to the 1998 Stanley Cup Playoffs Most Valuable Player.
The winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player, a unanimous selection for a great leader and a great player, Steve Yzerman.
For 12 years, the captain of the Detroit Red Wings, Conn Smythe winner, Steve Yzerman. Let's get down to Darren Pang. Darren.
Thanks very much, Gary. Chris Osgood last year. You're a big part of this team, but you watched as your buddy Mike Vernon hoisted the Stanley Cup. This year, you are the man, and I'm wondering what's turning inside your belly right now.
Well, everything, really. I mean, it's real hard to explain. Tired in one way, but another way, it's so exciting, everything going on. I mean, it's hard to keep the feelings back because it's been a long 2 months.
You're just 25 years of age. There are people that doubted you. Boy, did you prove everybody wrong.
Well, I like to think that, but I knew I was good all along. I knew I was confident in myself, and I had to get a chance to go there and play, and finally did it.
Chris Osgood, congratulations. Go enjoy it with your teammates, big guy.
Thank you.
Gary?
He won all 16 games, and you saw how emotional Chris Osgood is out there. He's over there with Vladimir Konstantinov right now. 10 times, 8 different goaltenders have won all 16 games in clinching a cup. Osgood in that group now. Now the moment they play for, the awarding of the Stanley Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stanley Cup.
Congratulating the Washington Capitals on a great season. Irene and Abe Poland, George McPhee, Ronnie Wilson, all the players. This was a great way to initiate the MCI Center. Washington has become a hockey city. And now let's talk about Hockey Town. Vladimir Konstantinov and Sergei Minotsikhanov have been great inspirations for their teammates. To win the Stanley Cup back-to-back means overcoming adversity, means doing your best, and I know your teammates and all of us hope that the courage they've shown will be an inspiration to you as you continue your recovery. This is a great team. A great organization. Mike and Marian Illich, Ken Holland, Scotty Bowman, all of the players, you ought to be congratulated. Steve Yzerman, let's do it again. Come get the Stanley Cup.
Draper said today, we can't wait to hand the cup to Vladimir Konstantinov in the wheelchair. That will make everything we've worked for worthwhile.
I think this tells everybody just how tightly glued together this Red Wings team had to be. Not only to win one, but then without their comrade and for their comrade to win a second one.
Never got a chance to celebrate last year. The accident came so close to winning the cup. Didn't have much time off. Didn't know what the physical condition of the two seriously injured were going to be. Had to carry that burden all season long as they tried to recover. How times change. Scotty Bowman and the former captain of the Soviet Red Army team celebrating a Stanley Cup win.
A common denominator amongst hockey players, whether they were from the Soviet Union or Finland or Sweden or the U.S. or Canada, they all knew about the Stanley Cup. And at one point or another, they all dreamed of winning it together.
Tradition, of course, of all the players get to skate the cup, and Vladimir Konstantinov will do just that. Join Darren Pang. Darren?
What? Where do you start?
Unbelievable season, emotional season, and this is for this guy who's been around like for the last few years, and he's been around as the best defenseman, and he's still with us, and everything we've done this year, this is for this man, Vladi, and for Sergei Matsakhanov. So this is emotional, and it's a great achievement, and we're so happy to get it back this year and bring the cup back home. And Vladi have a chance to enjoy this year, first time.
Slava, your thoughts, buddy?
I don't know, it's Vladi's spirit was present in our room all season long, start from training camp, and I hope this victory, this recognition is going to give him another boost to score speedy recovery. And we did this at 16th of June, victory number 16 for number 16. It's this man, and you know, he's going to run, going to walk soon. It's I have no doubt about it. You know, he's a great man. He's going to be all right.
Vladdy, everyone believes, buddy. Everyone believes. They do it for you. Gary Thorne, back up to you, buddy.
As Igor Larionov spoke first, Slava Fetisov second. That's Vladimir Konstantinov, Brian Engblom.
Thanks, Gary, and with Scotty Bowman. Scotty, 8 Stanley Cups. Congratulations. That ties you with Cole Blake, a man who you looked up to, in fact, was your mentor. What does it mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. Brian, I've always said about Cole Blake, there's never been another coach like him. He's only coached 13 years. He won 8 cups, but I got to know him very well. He's very instrumental. When I started in hockey, he was always there to give me a hand, and even when I was in Montreal, he always was in the background giving me the right advice.
Last year at this time, Scotty, we stood on the ice. I asked you if you were coming back. I'm asking you one more time. Are you coming back?
Well, I have to leave one of these years, Brian. I'll sit down with Mr. Illich and Kenny Holland. It might be as good a time as any to go out. I'll talk it over with my family, but it would be an emotional decision to make right now, and I'd like to wait a couple of weeks.
It's too soon. We'll expect to see you back. Thanks very much, Scotty. Darren Pang.
Thank you very much, Brian. And Steve, you've done so many things, and you've hoisted the trophy last year. You got to hoist your first major trophy in the Conn Smythe. It started with Jean Beliveau in '65. How'd that feel?
It was pretty exciting. You know, I haven't won anything in my career other than the Stanley Cup last year, which is pretty good. So pretty exciting, man. It's just incredible thrill. And the best thing is I got a no trade, so they can't trade me.
Last year you went to Scotland. What are you doing now?
Well, unfortunately, I don't got time to go to Scotland, but we're going to have a lot of fun anyways.
You got Vladdy. You've got your fans at Joe Louis are there, 20,000 strong. How do you guys contain yourself? This has been unbelievably emotional.
You know, it's so draining. Just the whole playoff run is incredibly draining. I just can't wait to get in the locker room and get this stuff off. I'm sick of wearing it, to be honest with you. But, you know, it's exhausting, and I'm glad we ended it tonight. I didn't want to have to play another game.
You want to say hello to the fans at Joe Louis? They're live right now.
I guess they're sold out, and we can't wait to get home.
Steve, congratulations. Another great step, big guy. Gary Thorne.
Thank you, Darren. And there you see another live shot from the Joe.
And that was one of the most honest interviews I've ever heard in a post-game Stanley Cup celebration by Steve Yzerman. Way to go, Stevie.
Can't wait to get out of this stuff. Brendan Shanahan. The team has already checked out of the hotel. They're all packed. They're going to be flying back to Detroit tonight. Claude Lapointe the game, the cup, and the goal that won it, the game-winning goal. He picked up. What a series LaPointe had this year in the playoffs. Let's check in again with Brian England. Brian?
Gary, I've got Brendan Shanahan. He just carried the cup around. Brendan, they say that when you win one championship like you guys did last year, it just makes you hungrier for another. Is that true?
Well, we felt it all year long, and there was no complacency did not creep in our dressing room. And we always feel fortunate. You have to be fortunate to win something like this. But at the same time, you just can't say enough about the group of guys and the commitment we had, the adversity we faced. We just put our nose to the grindstone, and everybody stepped up. This is not an individual championship for any one player or two players. What a team effort. It's great to be a part of it.
It's all over now. There was a lot of speculation about injuries with you. Just what was going on and how bad was it, Channing?
Well, I'll tell you what. Nothing hurt when I grabbed that thing. I felt 100% when I grabbed the cup. I'm just glad, you know, I adjusted the way I played, you know, I tried to shorten my shifts and just be responsible and try and get some offense, but with the depth that we have, you know, we have the luxury of doing something like that. I can't say enough about guys like Thomas Holmstrom and Doug Brown and Marty LaPointe. The incredible role everyone played. It was unbelievable. What a team effort.
You did it, big guy. Congratulations. Outstanding. Darren Pang.
Thanks very much, Brian. Sergei Fedorov, you came in here as a highly motivated individual. You were just terrific to go along with your teammates. Right now, at this point, winning 2 in a row, you ever thought that would be unimaginable, and doing it with your comrades here in attendance?
Well, I never thought that deep because I don't want to jinx anything. I'm a player, and I try to concentrate on think right in front of me, which is Stanley Cup Finals, a little bit of the season. I mean, I was thinking just get my contract out of the way and get back and play competitive hockey again. That was more important, most important though. But I guess we succeed. We got a great team. We won them back-to-back. I feel unbelievably great. I'm not even tired yet, so I feel really, really good.
That's bad news for the opposition. Sergei, when you were sitting out and holding, I know you got support from some of your teammates, but I mean, did you ever think that it would turn out this way?
No, like I said, it would be tough to imagine, but right now, it's very, very much truth. So I like to join the guys and celebrate with them. It's going to be great, and I'm telling you, it's still much more sweeter than it is even last year.
Did you give the puck from Game 3? Did you give it to Vladdy? You took it after the game?
I haven't done it yet because I saw him right after the game tonight, but it's on the way. Don't worry. We're going to have some parties.
Great work, Sergei.
Thank you.
There you see Vladimir Konstantinov, who will receive that puck that's being held by Sergei Fedorov. Detroit joining the Islanders in 82 and 83, swept back-to-back cup wins. That's what the Red Wings have done here tonight.
Just an amazing display of human perseverance from training camp all the way through. That has finally culminated in another Stanley Cup with the Detroit Red Wings, and Brendan Shanahan is obviously going to go to his grave with the secret of what his ailment really was.
The unsung heroes, and there were lots of them for Detroit. Doug Brown's one of them. Brian?
Gary, I'm with Doug Brown. Doug, Gary Thorne was just talking about unsung heroes. You definitely are in that category. The depth of your lineup is phenomenal. Just give us an insight of how you guys work behind the scenes.
Well, Scotty expects everybody to produce offensively, and he expects everyone to do their job defensively, and if you don't play, and so that's what he just demands. The scorers might not score as much, but they help out on their own end, and that helps everybody else score at the other end.
And during the regular season, you had no top scorers in the top 20 at all. But from the playoffs started, you could tell this team was geared. You guys were geared for this moment, weren't you?
Well, we realized over the last few years, the bottom line is that only winning the last game of the season is the only thing that counts. And all those other wins are nice and all, but everyone always says, well, how come you didn't win the last one? And so we learned our lesson last year, and we were glad to do it again this year.
Congratulations, you did win the last one. Gary Thorne.
Does that tell you about Scotty Bowman's philosophy, though, his players saying that sort of thing? Only one win matters.
Yep.
The last one.
And if you don't play with an incredible appetite, an incredible hunger for competition, to compete the way Doug Brown competes, the way Holmstrom competes, Anders Eriksson, the young guys, you don't play for Scotty Bowman. There's Chris Draper, Kirk Maltby. These guys play hard all the time on both sides of the puck, and that's why they play for Scotty Bowman.
And anyone who didn't is gone. Scotty Bowman raising the cup for the 8th time as a coach. Scotty's got a bad knee that's got to be operated on at the end of this season. Last year he went in, put his skates on, and came out and skated. He's not doing that, even though he said, you know, it only hurts me when I walk. It doesn't hurt me when I skate. Let's check back in with Darren Pang. Darren.
Thank you very much. The owner of the Detroit Red Wings Hockey Club, Mike Ilitch. And I don't know how you're feeling right now. You won it last year. That was unbelievably huge. And now you're creating a mini dynasty right here.
Well, I don't know about that, but I got really a great bunch of people that really love the game. They love each other. They play together. They got a lot of pride. They stay focused. And I think they're the epitome of a real professional organization. I mean, a real team, you know.
You go back to the decision being made when Carolina had that big offer to Sergei Fedorov. I guess it was a no-brainer, huh?
No, I'll tell you what. I'll give you 26 million reasons why it was a good idea.
But what's it keep in this day and age to keep a team like this together?
Well, that's going to be a very difficult thing, but we're going to keep a lot of it together. We're going to, you know, I'm going to work real hard to keep us going and just keep playing hard and make the right additions and subtractions. You know how it goes, Pangy. You know, you played. You remind me of Osgood.
You are a terrific owner and great for the game of hockey. Congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Gary and Bill.
Oh, what a man, Mike Ilitch, keeping these guys together for a second run at it. Well, the Detroit Red Wings swept the Washington Capitals, but keep in mind, neither Phoenix, nor St. Louis, nor Dallas was able to push this team to 7 games. Nobody pushed them to the limit. That's how good they were in the final analysis.
They take it home. Brian Engblom, Darren Pang, Steve Levy, Elmore Gandy, Barry Melrose, John Saunders, Bill Clement, yours truly, Gary Thorne, delighted at the opportunity to bring you exclusive coverage of the Stanley Cup Finals Game 4. And for the Detroit Red Wings, it was a long, hard road that has led to this yet one more time. They truly have displayed the kind of soul you must have to be a champion under the severe circumstances they had to play under. They ended that 42-year-old drought last year, a tragedy, a season where they had to deal with that as well as trying to play. The Red Wings, though, have won it, and if ever a team deserved to win a Stanley Cup in back-to-back years, it must be this Detroit Red Wings team. Thank you for joining us. Red Wings 4, Capitals 1.
Know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming, all the moment of truth in your lies. When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know